Former U.S. President Donald Trump will be in a Washington court today, answering to charges in his third indictment in 4 months.
The attack on our nation's capital on January 6, 2021, was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy.
So this new indictment is focused on the effort to overturn the 2020 election results and his conduct during the January 6th insurrection. Avis Jones-DeWeaver is a political commentator and the co-founder of Max Black Media. She joins us this morning with her reaction. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So Trump is charged with conspiracy to defraud the U.S., conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of and attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. Do you expect we're going to hear from the former president at some point today?
Oh, absolutely. It's very interesting because I live in Washington, D.C., and it's interesting even in this area, an area where, quite frankly, he's not very popular at all. He's already running commercials. I just saw a commercial that he ran today, basically saying that these are trumped-up charges and people are out to get him by the Biden crime family. So he's already starting the deflection. He's already put out statements on his own little knockoff of Twitter. And so I don't expect him to go long before he is actually making some other more direct statements to the public. The reality is he's a great master of distraction, but he cannot distract the law. And that's his big problem. He is someone who has engaged in activity that is unprecedented as a president of the United States, ultimately trying to undermine a free and fair election, and he has to pay the cost.
Why are these charges, Avis, more serious for Trump than the charges he faces in 2 other indictments in New York and Florida?
Well, I have to say the Florida charges are pretty significant as well. I mean, he had top secret documents at his home, documents that included information on our nuclear secrets. There is concern that he might have been trying to sell those documents. So once again, I would consider that treasonous. And here we have charges that at the end of the day, if I were to put them in layman's terms, I would say that these are charges that come together to boil down actions that result in some sort of coup attempt. So any way that you frame this, these are very, very serious charges. It is completely unprecedented in our national history. And I think in future decades, when people look back at this time, they're not only going to wonder why a man would do this as president, they're going to wonder most certainly how someone like that could ever become president in the first place.
I want to ask you about timing, though. That's what I wonder about, because what do we know about the timing of when any of these charges will make it to trial, and what does that mean for his election campaign?
Oh, my goodness. It is going to be a very, very busy season for him. He has so many charges coming his way. He has another set of charges that will likely drop in the not too distant future coming out of Georgia, also stemming from issues around the election. And so all of this is going to be interspersed within a very robust primary season. He'll be probably sitting in court one day or having different proceedings going on about him at the same time that he's preparing for debates. This all will lead up to him trying to use this for his political good. He is making an us against them type of argument to his supporters. And he has a media machine that in fact, tells lies about him on a daily basis. So it's a lot of Americans, literally millions of Americans, who just believe that all of this is a farce. It is going to do even more to tear our country apart. And he doesn't care about that because all he cares about is getting back in power, because that's the only way that he can save himself from having to pay the legal price.
We don't have too much time, but I have to ask you about this. This does not seem to be hurting Trump in the polls. In fact, as he's running to be the Republican presidential candidate, every time he's charged, it seems, Avis, there's a surge in campaign donations. What do we make of this?
Because he has this very, very loyal constituency, right? He has a large group of Americans who will back him no matter what. And he also has a media machine, as well as other individuals throughout the Republican Party that are parroting talking points that paints him as the victim. And so in actuality, he is using this to his benefit among his loyal base. However, though he may, in fact, get the presidential nomination from the Republican Party, which right now, honestly, it looks like he will. When we look at the full public, I am still of the belief that the majority of Americans see him as the criminal that he is and will not let him anywhere near the White House.
We'll have to end it there. Avis Jones-DeWeaver, I always appreciate your thoughts. Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.